Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. We are here in the hearing room, in the Commissioner's hearing room for our Administrative Matters meeting today. We'll start off this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for joining us with the pledge. I call this meeting to order. I am Jody Shattuck McNally, Larimer County Commissioner. Today I'm acting chair, Chair Pro Tem, covering for Commissioner Stevens today, who had to be called away. Also joined at the dais by my colleague, Commissioner John Kafalis. Good morning, sir. Also, we're thankful who is helping us and assisting in our meeting today is our clerk to the board. Good morning, Deidre. How are you? Also, our county manager, Lorenda Volker, good morning. Tom Clayton from the Commissioners and Public Information Office, and Sarah Martin, who works in the Commissioner's Office and assists us in so many things. So with that, we'll move on to public comment. We will have a 3-minute limit today, and I will I don't see we have anybody signed up, but I'll just make an announcement. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make a public comment? Okay, Sarah, would you check online to see if there's anyone online who'd like to make public comment?
There's no one online, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you. We're just such riveting TV. We have lots of people watching. No, I'm kidding. Well, we appreciate it very much. We'll go ahead and close public comment, and now we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Did you have any changes or additions to the minutes or so? So, Commissioner Kafalis, would you please make the motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, I move to approve the minutes. The minutes for March 17, 2025.
Thank you, sir, for that motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll move on. We're just rolling through this today. We'll move on to our upcoming schedule, and I'll turn this over to Sarah Martin. Sarah, thank you for going through the schedule today.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for March 31st through April 5th. On Monday, March 31st, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., there will be a work session regarding addressing in the Commissioner's conference room on the second floor. From 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be a work session regarding Larimer on the Move, Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, and the Transportation Master Plan update in the Commissioner's conference room on the second floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. On Tuesday, April 1st, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m., there will be legislative direction to county staff in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be administrative direction to county management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the rodeo board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting in person. It will be at the McKee 4-H Youth and Community Building at 5280 Arena Circle in Loveland, or virtually via Zoom. From 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the rodeo board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting in person. I believe I just said that. So from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Parks Advisory Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting in person. It'll be at the Department of Natural Resources Administrative Offices at 1800 South County Road 31 in Loveland, or virtually via Zoom. On Wednesday, April 2nd, from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioners may attend the Department of Natural Resources all-staff meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Regional Opioid Abatement Learning Forum. From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may participate in the virtual State of Colorado System of Care for Children and Youth Beyond Medicaid meeting. From 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual High Plains Boulevard Coalition meeting. From 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the North I-25 Coalition Visioning meeting at 4209 County Road 24 and a half in Firestone. On Thursday, April 3rd, from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis will host a community conversation for the Wellington and Waverly communities. Topics are community involvement and bring your own topic at Avuncular Bob's T-Bar Inn at 3803 West Cleveland Avenue in Wellington. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Sexual Assault Victim Advocate Center Summit at High Country Beverage at 4200 Ronald Reagan Boulevard in Johnstown. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Transportation Committee meeting. From 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Go NoCo 34 Transportation Management Organization Board meeting. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the North Front Range Metropolitan Planning Organization Planning Council meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be at Evan Riverside Library and Cultural Center at 3700 Golden Street in Evans, or virtually via GoToMeeting. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioners Kafalis and Shattuck McNally may attend the Overland Trail chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution Patriotic Awards ceremony at 8601 Covey Court in Fort Collins. On Friday, April 4th, from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual State Forest Health Council Legislative Committee meeting. From 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the State Board of Human Services meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be at 1575 Sherman Street in Denver, or virtually via Zoom. From 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the Regional Air Quality Council Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it will be on the 4th floor boardroom at 1445 Market Street in Denver, or virtually via Zoom. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., the Commissioners may participate in the virtual Colorado Counties, Inc. Legislative Briefing meeting. And on Saturday, April 5th, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., there will be Common Grounds with Commissioner Shattuck McNally. Topic and location will be announced prior to the meeting.
Thank you, Sarah. Commissioner Kafalis, do you have any additions or changes, sir?
I don't believe so.
Okay, thank you. Sarah, I have a few. So let's start with, or I should say, well, it is a few. So I would add on Wednesday, April 2nd, in case anyone else joins me, I have the Regional Opioid Abatement Learning Forum. It's virtual. It starts at 1 p.m., and that is for the Attorney General's Office Learning Forum. And so I just want to put that on there. It's 1 to 2 virtually on April 2nd. And then April 3rd, let's see, there's a CCAT, Housing, Fiscal Reform, Public Health and Human Services Committee meeting that starts at 11:30, and I will be attending that. It's 11:30 to 1:30, and that's on Zoom. And then on Friday, Friday in the morning, commissioners and counties acting together is starting a new kind of weekly check-in just for general stuff to have discussions. And so this will be it's kind of new, and we're test driving it this week. It's brought up by the chair of the president or chair of the CCAT, and that will be virtually from 10 to 11 every Friday. Just you might want to just put that on the calendar going forward, because we will be just kind of drop in and out just to kind of catch up. So, and that's all virtual. On Saturday, my community conversation just got moved to 10 a.m. To 11 at Feel Love Coffee. And it'll be back at the community table. But from 7:30 to 9:30, I will be at the Poudre Valley REA annual membership breakfast. I was going to be I'm a member of that, just for full disclosure. But I signed up to go as a member, but now they saw that I was signed up in the list, so they're having a meeting. They're having us come and be at the presentation and the opening with the board directors before that. So I just wanted to share that that I just got signed up for that. So that is all that I have for today. Commissioner Kafas, I see your hands raised.
Uh, yes. I'm reminded that I have already agreed to attend the Poudre Valley REA annual meeting, so I will be there with bells and whistles on. And is that April 5th, Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, I think also we were invited. I think there's a warrant clearance event that day that the Community Justice Alternatives is sponsoring. I think it's at the Loveland campus. Would likely stop by there after Poudre Valley REA. We can give you more information.
So, sir, I'll add that the breakfast is at Embassy Suites.
Thank you.
Correct.
And also, I probably will stop by the warrant clearance event since Field Love Coffee is just less than a mile away, just to stop by. So, if folks wouldn't mind adding that to my calendar. And I think that's all we have today. All right. So we'll move on now to the consent agenda, and the consent agenda consists of items of no perceived controversy and routine administrative actions, such as abatements, agreements, deeds, final plans, liquor license, resolutions, and other matters previously reviewed by the Board of County Commissioners. Staff recommends approval of the consent agenda, and a commissioner may request the item be pulled off the agenda, considered separately. Items pulled from the agenda will be considered after the board takes action on the remainder of the consent agenda. So I'm going to briefly read high level what is on the consent agenda. And if you are interested in more details, all this information and our agendas are always on our Board of County Commissioners website. And there is lots more details on these agreements. So I'm going to go through this fairly quick and short consent agenda. The first is an amendment to grant agreement between Grace Village and the Larimer County for Community Services Center, Wellington region, and this is submitted by our Laura Walker and Human and Economic Health, and this is a request approval of change for the scope of work between Grace Village and Larimer County. The county awarded $500,000 to Grace Village for the sole purpose of establishment of a community services center in Wellington region, and the scope of work has been modified as noted in Exhibit A, since Grace Village was actually able to purchase an existing building to meet these needs. And so this important and needed project is moving forward, so the scope and award is now being modified to allow for this change. And the end date on this is December 31st, 2025, and so congratulations to those community members and the hard work they put in to get this moving forward. We have appointments. One is a recommended midterm appointment to Fox Ridge Estates Public Improvement District. Congratulations to that, Mr. Carnes. Secondly, recommended midterm appointment to the Riviera Estates Public Improvement District. Congratulations, Mr. Guffiston. Let's see. Those are the appointments. Now we're going on to liquor licenses. We have a liquor license renewal for Boyd Lake Marina Incorporated, doing business as Boyd Lake Marina Incorporated, which is in Loveland. And we have also liquor license renewal for Swing Station LLC, doing business as Swing Station in LaPorte. Liquor license renewal for Mini Mart Incorporated, DBA Loaf and Jug, and this is the one in Fort Collins. And a liquor license special event permit for Estes Park Quota for Taste of Estes Park, and that is, of course, in Estes Park. We have some miscellaneous items. We have county legislative positions, which you can read online to get more details. We also have 3 different tax stipulations as to tax year 23, 24. And you can read about those online. And also, actually, four of those, tax stipulation. And then we have a resolution adopting the update to Article 4.10, exterior lighting of the Larimer County Land Use Code, which is a updated code that we had a public hearing item for. This was held on January 13th, 2025. And that is all for today. Commissioner, do you have anything you wish to remove from the agenda?
I do not wish to remove any of the consent agenda items.
Thank you, sir. Would you please make that motion to approve the consent agenda?
You bet. I move to approve the consent agenda for March 25th, 2025.
Thank you, sir, for that motion.
You're welcome.
Any further deliberation? All those in favor? Aye. Great. We're now going to move on to our own. We don't have any commissioner guests. Do you have any guests today, sir?
Maybe we could have the sergeant come up. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I do not have any guests.
Okay, sir. That will move on to our only discussion item today, which I'm very excited about. This is approval of the purchase of the D-Dart Ranch Conservation Easement as recommended by the Open Lands Advisory Board at its February 27th, 2025 meeting. I will ask, is Justin or Megan who's coming up? Megan, welcome. Please come share about this great news and the wonderful work you have all been doing. This is really, really cool things. This has been a great start to the year for conservation work. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Megan Flanagan with Larimer County Natural Resources, and you get both Justin and I this morning. And we're really excited to bring to you this third and final conservation easement project in the Livermore, Laramie Foothills area. That was part of the Great Outdoors Colorado grant that we received at the end of last year. And just to orient you again, the purple circle outlines the region we're talking about up in the Livermore area, which is identified in our Open Lands Master Plan as part of an area of high conservation value. It's an area where we've done a lot of work over the years. On the map, you can see in orange a lot of the other conservation easements that have been done by the county and other partners that work in this landscape. I was just looking at the list of GOCO grants that have been awarded within Larimer County for projects, not necessarily to Larimer County, and the three largest ever awarded by GOCO to projects in the county were in this landscape, and so this being the third. So with that, I'll turn it over to Justin to go through this specific project.
All right, thank you, Megan. Justin Core, Senior Land Agent in the Engineering Department. So as Megan mentioned, this is another project that we've been working on in the Livermore Valley in the Livermore Priority area. So the D-Dart Ranch is a 574-acre ranch that's located on the south side of County Road 74E. You can see it on this map. It's the property in red, about 3 miles west of the intersection of 74E and Highway 287. Megan mentioned the other public lands and the conservation work that's occurred in this area, mostly as part of the Laramie Foothills Mountains to Plains conservation effort. But this map shows kind of the collection of properties that are either owned by public agencies or privately conserved. So the darker green is the Cherokee State Wildlife Area. The kind of medium shade of green are various other properties owned by the state of Colorado. You can see the western edge of Eagle's Nest open space kind of on the right side of the map there, kind of lower right of the map. The smaller green property that's located just northeast of the property on the other side of the county road is actually the Road and Bridge shop, so that's a good point of reference. And of course, it's contiguous with the other conservation projects that we've completed this year, the Quarter Circle Lazy H Ranch, which is immediately adjacent to this property, and then the Lone Pine Livestock Conservation Easement. So when we talk about conservation easements, I mean, these are voluntary agreements that we hold with landowners that limit the uses of properties to protect their conservation values in perpetuity. So typically that's done by limiting development on the property. And that's done in an effort to protect the conservation values. And those are the things that provide, a variety of public benefits. So for this project, the key conservation, or one of the key conservation values that's being protected is the protection of natural wildlife habitat. So the property is comprised mostly of foothills, grasslands, and shrublands. Similar to the other projects that we've completed in this priority area, it does include a portion of a Colorado Natural Heritage Program area of significant biodiversity, as well as some critical habitat that's delineated by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for the Prebles Meadow jumping mouse. So that's a portion of the property along its eastern boundary, which is near the North Fork of the Poudre. So another key conservation value that's protected is the protection of scenic values. So for anyone who's traveled between Livermore and Red Feather Lakes along County Road 74E, I think most folks realize this is one of the iconic view sheds in the county in the Livermore Valley. So the protection of this ranch will protect the southern backdrop along 74E for about 0.8 miles. Along with the other projects that we've completed that were on the map that we had up earlier, there's about 4.5 miles of the County Road 74E corridor viewshed that's being protected by the collection of these projects that we've completed this year, including this one. And of course, provides significant landscape and buffer connections with those other conserved properties and public lands. The third conservation value is the protection of agricultural land. So the use of the property has primarily been for grazing and for a limited area of hay production, mostly in the bottomlands that are along County Road 74E. About 65 acres of the ranch is irrigated, and again, that's for hay growing. In wetter years, depending on conditions, they can expand that irrigated ground, but typically about 65 acres is irrigated. And the remainder is primarily used for grazing. The property has been in this family. This is its 5th generation of ownership and management. And like the other projects that we've worked on in Livermore, the water rights, the senior water rights that are associated with Lone Pine Creek will be tied to the conservation easement. And that allows those water rights to continue to be used to support the conservation values and keeps them from ever being permanently separated from the property. So in terms of the acquisition cost, the conservation easement appraisal valued the conservation easement interest that the county is acquiring at $1,675,000. As you can see here, we've got a number of partners involved to help support this acquisition. Megan mentioned the GOCO grant award that we received in December. Also significant partnership funding from the city of Fort Collins, as well as some other funding agencies, including the Nature Conservancy, a private donor, the Gates Family Foundation, and the Friends Group, or the Friends of Larimer County Natural Resources. And just as a point of clarification, the conservation easement will be held solely by Larimer County. So there's a lot of partners involved, but the conservation easement itself will be held by the county. We are scheduled to close on this acquisition April 11th. And again, like all these other projects, we're very pleased to be able to do work in this area and complete a number of really significant projects and work with great families who share our objectives. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Justin and Megan and Dalen in the audience for their tremendous work in this area. I have some comments I'll leave for after I open this up to my colleague, Commissioners Kafalis. Did you have any questions or comments, sir?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, just a couple of words of gratitude and a question. Thank you for all the great work. I mean, this is an example of how the county works with willing landowners to preserve open space for lots of different conservation-related, wildlife habitat-related values. So thank you immeasurably for all your amazing work. And I will take special notice when I drive past this property on Thursday morning. That'll be lots of fun. My question is, what is the total number of acres that we have preserved, protected in 2004, and up until this point in 2005? What's the number? I think it's in at least a few thousand. And when you add it all together, since we started the sales tax initiative, have we reached the magic 60, or we're still in the 50s? Could someone speak to that, please?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. So in 2024, we conserved with our partners about 624 acres. So far this year, once this project closes, we'll have conserved over 5,000 acres, right about 5,052. And that brings our total to just over 62,000 acres.
Did you say 62?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, we've reached the magic 60.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good year that way. And, you recall that one of the metrics we report on to you all is when we looked at our per capita, our population, and the number of acres we conserved in 2018, before our current sales tax started, we were right at 50,000 acres. And our goal by the time the sales tax expires in 25 years is an additional 24,000 acres. So we're just over halfway towards that goal, 8 years into that time frame.
We may have to update our brochures and things.
Yeah, we will definitely have to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can you clarify again? I know it was 4,900 in January, and now where are we at?
Right, so
for this year it's 4,900 in January, right? Just January alone, and now we're...
Yeah, so these three conservation easements total 4,856 acres. And then we also conserved a property that's in addition to Red Tail Ridge Open Space, which is 196 acres. So now we're at 5,052 for this year.
Over 5,000. Yeah, that's a lot in just 2.5 months. That's pretty impressive. So, well, first, we were at the GoCo event, was it last week, the week before, and I think I said this before, I guess I didn't sit with you all purposely. It was great to see you all there, but I sat with some of the board members and some other folks, and actually I did sit with you, Justin, didn't I? No, it was maybe Zach. And he introduced me to the gentleman who's writing some of the history on the Pooter Trail. And then some of the board members from GoCo were there. Great Outdoors Colorado, which is such a great partner and organization. And it's one of those great ideas that has really having long-term legacy impacts on our state. And they were talking about just what is this that you do all here, because we usually go to these regions. We don't usually just focus on one county, but we had to come focus just on Larimer County because of all the great work you're doing. And I talk about the Larimer Way, and you guys have been doing the Larimer Way for a long time, developing these relationships, focusing on the mission, and providing landscapes up for conservation. If we don't do open, actually fee purchase, we have these conservation easements where they're kind of cool ideas that willing, as my colleague said, willing landowners, but also they love the land just as much as we love the land. And I think that's what's really that cool common ground of preserving those landscapes. It means so much to the landowner, but it means so much to us as a county and all of the residents who drive or live in that area, who don't own the land but benefit from the view sheds and the ecological values and the wildlife habitats. It's such a benefit for everyone. So yeah, they might still own the land, but the conservation easement makes this a benefit for everyone and visitors alike. And I think when we look back, as me for individual commissioner, when I look back on a day or a week, I said, did I leave some, where the place or my day, my world, my family, my county better than I found it today or this week or this year? And these are one of those moments where I'm like so proud to be a partner or work alongside you all, because I feel like we're leaving our county a better place for not only our children and ourselves, but our children's children. Because these view sheds, iconic view sheds, have been captured in so many pictures. We can see them in our hallways, and some of them I have in my little commissioner photo album, just to remind myself of all the things we've seen and done. That you, just like the Big Thompson Canyon, with that conservation and our fee purchase, and now this iconic view shed, can't be understated how tremendous this is. And I think one thing is, not only were the ecological values, the water rights, the Preble mouse habitat, the riparian area, the view sheds, but there is a very sacred history and heritage here that is also being valued and shared. And this family, just generations of fantastic land stewardship that we all strive to be as well, good land stewards. It's just really amazing work that you've done, and to achieve this, it's just example that I hope you all know, that I think your children will look back and say, hey, my parents, my family did this, or we did this, and it's just kind of amazing work. So I want to just commend you all for the relationships you build, and just thank you for letting me be a small part of it. I'm just so proud of you all in this county for work what we do. So with that, I could sit here and talk about it all day, because I can't tell you how super excited I am about this, and thank the families for us. They're just tremendously committed to the values that we all share. So, Lorinda, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I just applaud. This is a real milestone in the work that you're doing. The map says it all, the connection between the conserved space, the open space, the way that the habitats are preserved. You walk your values every day, and I don't think it's seen because we do this sort of one bit at a time. But thank you. I think that map is something to celebrate. The work you all do is fabulous. Thank you. Thank you, David.
Great. Well, I know you're probably going to go celebrate or something, but just please express our gratitude to that family, and the whole valley is just really, really gratitude to all of them. So we still have to make a motion to approve this, so it's official. So Commissioner Cafales, would you mind making that motion, please?
I would not mind at all, and I would be more than delighted. I move that the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners approve the resolution approving the acquisition of the D-Dart Ranch conservation easement and statement of authority.
Thank you, sir, for that motion. Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor? Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today. Okay, it's always great to get some great news. we'll move on. That's our only discussion item, and we'll move on to our county manager update. Good morning, Lorenda. I know you've been very, very busy.
I have been. There's been a lot of internal coordination, but some important external coordination happened last week as well. I was able to meet with several of the town managers, Wellington Town Manager Patty Garcia, Fort Collins City Manager Kelly DiMartino, Windsor Town Manager Shane Hale, along with the Fort Collins Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Ann Hutchinson and the CHU Extension Front Range Regional Director Carrie Rollins. Those are important meetings. It takes just a moment to talk about them, but these are hours spent developing relationships and partnerships across the region. We are a special region. Our managers do coordinate, collaborate. We share information with each other. We're kind of a support group because we are a small group that does very similar work. But it helps us to address some of the community issues that cross county lines or municipal lines. And so really proud of those relationships and the time spent doing those things. And I think I'll leave it at that.
And thank you for that work. It is really critical, the building of relationships and having that communication so that they can share with the other elected bodies. And I really value the work you do there. It's really important work. So thank you. Commissioner Kofalos, did you have any? We're going to move on to, unless you have questions for Lorenda, maybe move on to Commissioner activity reports. Do you have anything you'd like to share?
Just thumbs up.
And do you have anything you'd like to share? I know you were.
Commissioner update?
Yeah.
I do not. I was on spring break holiday with my 7-year-old granddaughter and her folks. So unless you want to hear about that, which actually is really pretty exciting, but.
Well, I'm glad that you got to.
I do not have any commissioner updates official.
Well, I'm glad to hear you had a great trip, and I'm sure your granddaughter did as well, and we welcome you back.
Thank you.
Well, I'll move on just to share a little bit about my week last week. And actually, while you were gone, Commissioner Stevens and I were pretty active. There was a lot happening. So I'll go back to just on the 9th, starting on Wednesday. Tuesday was a lot of meetings. Don't want to bore you all with all the meetings we have, but I did take some site tours on some of our land use projects. Sometimes as planning commissioners or county commissioners, we can go and look at the site and get a view. It was freezing cold, but I just was up around that area that we just mentioned that was being conserved. And I just want to thank the folks that go out of their way to kind of arrange those things, because sometimes you can look at a bunch of paper, but when you go and see the actual site, it kind of helps you visualize what's happening there. So I appreciate that very much. I then went on Wednesday, the 19th of March, to the Loveland Chamber, the State of the Business Luncheon, which was held at our ranch complex in the Blue Arena. And it was very interesting. This new city manager, James Thompson, and his financial gentleman and economic workforce or economic development person, Marcy Willard, presented. And it was interesting to hear them presenting and look at their data about their sales tax and some of their budget items. And so I appreciate that opportunity to learn more about that. And thanks for the invitation from the small business owners who really wanted to see me there. I then spent March 20th mostly in Estes. I drove up early and had my common grounds at Cotton Coffee, kind of like what I'm going to be doing in Loveland next week. I actually had quite a decent crowd, and the mayor of Estes, Gary Holland, joined me. And he at first thought, well, is this going to be big enough space? I said, we don't want a huge space. We want to be able to have good conversations. And he actually really enjoyed it. And he was like, boy, you talked a lot, but I sure learned a lot in the hour, more than I knew about the county. So thanks for all that you shared, and it was a good conversation to have. And so I appreciate all the people that attended. There were some people that came to talk about land use areas that actually were in the city, not the town, but they thought it was in the county or unincorporated parts of the county, because everything is a county. But it was good education to help people understand kind of the relationship and the processes. So it was good all around. And then I went and chaired our CCAT Transportation and Natural Resources Wildfire Committee. It was interesting because Commissioner Stevens chairs the Transportation Committee and I chair the Wildfire Committee. And usually we're not on the same day, our committees, but they did that day. So it was Larimer County kind of running CCAT that day. So that was kind of fun. And we had a lot of items to share, mostly about some of these bills that are up, including we were all testifying in opposition to House Bill 1096, which was killed in committee or amended in committee to not the portions that we had a lot of concerns about were amended. And then I had a wonderful lunch with the mayor of Estes as we were trying to get caught up and have some conversations, especially when it comes to our concerns about wildfire season and upcoming tourist season. And so we had a great conversation about that. And then I took a little bit of time before I came home for another meeting and got in about a 3-mile hike in the freezing cold again. So 2 days of freezing cold, but it was worth just getting up and actually witnessing and seeing how the park's doing during these uncertain times. So that was great. And then on Friday, we had our NOCO partners meeting. And also, we had another CCAT meeting, but mostly I was in the NOCO partners meeting. And we had some really great information shared about kind of a common messaging and work that we're going out and doing. There was a study through the Colorado College looking at people's views on national parks and monuments and preservation of that, and also views on including Indigenous voices in those conversations. And you can find that study at State of the Rockies on that website at Colorado College. It's called State of the Rockies. I think there's some promising information and views from not only Colorado, but our surrounding states and how we value and treasure our landscapes and our national parks and monuments. And I think that that research and survey showed that is reinforced that is a strong value for Western states. So I encourage you to go look at that. And then we had our Fiscal Reform and Housing Committee for CCAT, where we also, once again, had a lot of conversations on bills. There are a lot of things happening, and the budget conversation is first and foremost in our minds. And the state budget committee is still tweaking and working on that, and we should have no more here shortly about what the state of all that looks like going forward for how it impacts counties and the state and services and education. And then yesterday, just wanted to share, I went Mighty Arrow Foundation is a group of it's a foundation here that is formed by locals who took some of their successes to make a foundation to look at taking care of the environment and do a lot of issues to help advance our values of taking care of each other. And they had a Poudre River Fund stakeholder feedback session, which was very, very interesting. The work that they're trying to do together, and learned about some other funds across Colorado and the country that they're investigating. And so that was a chance for us to have feedback. The watersheds were there, and some staff, people from Larimer County staff, City Fort Collins, and others. And so it was really robust and very interesting conversation. And then I joined almost the entire board from Adams County Board of County Commissioners as we joined CC4CA, which is Cities and Counties for Climate Action, I believe. Try not to use acronyms. I know my colleague would like it if I spelled that all out. And so we had a quick, robust conversation as we all presented just really specifics. We wanted Congressman Evans, who is a Congressional District 8 new representative, with his staff, and just kind of going point through point. I brought up the FEMA funding and some of that, those concerns, and we had specific examples. And I appreciate Anita and everyone who worked so hard on helping us cram a lot of information into just over 33 minutes. So it was fast and furious, but we got a lot done. And then just wanted to say, as always, it's just our staff are amazing, all the work that we do together, and I look forward to another busy week. So appreciate everyone in their work. That's all I have. So, Commissioner, anything else you want to add? Great. Well, that's all the business we have today. So At 9:44, we are adjourned. Thank you all for joining us.